break. Watch it all fall, yeah, we watch it all break. How long till we all fade away? How deep are we gonna sink? Before we know it, we'll be losing our dreams. How deep before we all fade away? So where do we go?
不知道从哪点起，墙上的电视机里，我抱有让时代工作心结，无法忍受的沉默，代理委托的生活，对抗堕落的困兽，找寻逃脱的身子，像就坠落了烈的风大带着我的魅力，抛去狂妄自大的鞭子，都想和现实对垒，越过这台阶去寻找那规则。It's like magic， 举起火把点燃驱散灰色。All I wanna say， we all have the same desire。
I come alive, burning in the night like wildfire. Falling in the blue moon, I'm following the stars. Swear I will fight until I'm better to bury my love. Fighting for the ones that are lost in the heart. Oh, I know it's hard to see the end. I know it's hard to see the end. We're gonna make it out, my friend.
Hello, and welcome back to Season 3 of Genshin Ranked. My name is Lemmy, and joining me on stage today are Popsicle and Kurt. Hey guys!
Hello. Happy to
Hi.
be back.
Okay, so Popsicle, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, of course. So, I'm a day 1 player in Ranked as part of the team captain of TST and winner of the previous 2 seasons, Season 1 and Season 2. Unfortunately, my team lost in the semifinals this season, but we did end up getting to 3rd place, very fortunately.
Alright,
I'm
I
also
see.
the head of the balance team in Genshin Ranked, and and I really have a lot of experience with a lot of characters such as Arlecchino, Hu Tao, Linny, Mavuika. You can see the commonality there.
Alright, so you've actually been a competitive player in the ranked scene for a while. And you have a really impressive resume to back it up. So, how about you, Kurt?
Hi, so I'm Kurt. You may know me from my stream Kurtica Zen. A few of the players on today's teams come from Kurt Cord, but myself, I'm a Genshin streamer. I've been streaming since about 2021, thereabouts. I don't have much competitive ranked experience, but I used to play a lot of Pickban. Nowadays, though, I'm taking more of a backseat from that because the Abyss has been really, really unfortunate. I'm excited to cast ranked and play more ranked. I've played only one game and it wasn't well balanced.
We're so glad to have both of you here tonight. Well, especially because we are having a fundraiser for the American Heart Association. So here's the serious part. We want to raise awareness and raise money for those undergoing heart surgery after serious cardiac illness. And one of our founding members, Kaizen, has recently had a family member who required extensive surgery due to a blocked coronary artery and a damaged valve. Don't worry, guys, he has recovered and is doing well. Well,
That's really good. And
yeah.
I understand that life can be really stressful when it comes to balancing work, school, and family. Sometimes we can forget to take a break and have some time to ourselves. I know that the people here on Ranked have a lot on their plate from being full-time students or in the workforce, and it's nice to take a break with both some exercise and some heart racing matches. What do you guys do to stay healthy?
Well, like my team did touch grass together, I definitely go out and go touch some grass. How about you, Popsicle?
Yeah, about me, I just do some jogging and dab a little bit in a lot of different sorts. Moving on, a little bit about Kaizen. He's actually playing today as an important member of Umbrella Warfare University. Just to give him a shout out, we're wishing him the best and his family for the future.
We've got an amazing match between two well-practiced teams tonight. So let's take a look at the bracket. Tonight, it is 2 new teams, all loaded with veteran competitive players. The Balatro Gamblers versus Umbrella Warfare Uni.
At this point in the finals, they had to face off against each other in a best-of-7 Swiss bracket as well as an intense playoff stage. After fighting their way through the quarterfinals, they punched through the semifinals and are are ready to take on the stage and face their final battle over the title of Genshin Impact Season 3 champion.
That's right. Because this is the grand finals, we will be seeing two best of 6 halves where players are allowed to draft bosses. The first team to 7 boss wins will be the champion. This will give us more opportunities to see drafting, gameplay, and even more intense matches as these teams work together on the way to the top. At a halftime, both teams will get the opportunity to switch sides and to pick a new set of unique bosses while drafting a new set of characters. If it gets to a 6-6, an overtime will end the game as a singular run on the Aeon Blight Drake, selecting any of the 3 characters from either half. So, let's see if the teams are ready because we are about to start.
Since I'm not super duper familiar with ranked, is this finals a different format than other matches, or is this is just the same as normal?
Yeah, usually it is a best of 7 game where both teams just win over the majority. So for example, a 4-3 would result in a win, or just a 7-0. So, oh yeah, how about we take a look at the stats and introduce our players today. Alright, so this is our 3rd seed team, Umbrella Warfare Uni. So let's talk about their players. So first of all, we have Joman. So he's from the United States and he has been playing for a long time, like starting from 1.0 and really getting into the game after 2.0. He really loves Lini, Ganyu, and even Arlecchino, and also as well as a little bit of Al-Haytham. He really likes drafting and he really likes running, hiking, and mountain biking. Oh, he has something to say that he wishes BLG the best of luck.
Mm-hmm.
For
And next
Ost,
we have
Oh.
Ost.
Mhm.
Sorry. She is from Mexico and as really the member that who has played the least of UWU, but I know that she has been working very hard in practice, and some of her favorite characters are Mualani, Nilu, and Arlecchino, as you can see there with the 75% win rate.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up next, we have Kaizen from Argentina. He's been playing since 2020 as well. And he mains Kanich, Ganyu, Yelan, and those 3 actually have top 1% builds on Akasha. But he also likes to play Lini, Anu, Mualani, Nahida. I'm sure all the ranked staples. They've been playing competitive Genshin for 2 years since the boss race tourney. And his favorite part about competitive Genshin is the competitive aspect of it and the great community that you guys have been forging around here.
Mm-hmm. And to round off UWU, we have Bobo. So he's from America and he has been started in 1.0. Like he says 2 weeks after the game has came out. He mains well, he is a healer main. Can you explain to us, Kurt? You know him the best.
I actually okay. So he's one of the mods on my stream and on the server, and the reason I added him as a mod, so most of the mods on my stream and server came from when I had a lot more viewers, so I had a lot more people coming into the server just asking questions. So I added people to mods and to helpers if they were very knowledgeable about the game. And I decided on Bobo because I saw one of his TikToks where he was min-maxing the healing on his Kokomi. So he was doing like a showcase of healing across all the characters. And I remember thinking like, this is completely useless, but all right.
Yeah. Here's a Kokomi mention to all you Kokomi lovers out there. So before we switch to the other team, let's look at some of their best in slots. So Joman has a 61% win rate on Lini. So he loves Lini. We can expect him to be playing Lini today, unless he gets banned, of course. And Ost, we see 75% on Arlecchino, and then Kaizen with 67 win rate on Kanich. We've seen Kanich pop off last match in the semifinals. we've seen crazy gameplay from Kaizen, where he fires 6 of the big charge shots to the animal cube, securing them a really well. I think it was they got a world record time on the animal cube, so Balatro Gamblers have to be aware of it. And Bobo here also with Kanich, so they can kind of interchange their accounts. So how about let's move on to the Balatro Gamblers.
Yeah, going to BLG, or the Balatro Gamblers. They are led by Cuddles, the lead developer of Genshin Ranked. As many of you may know, Cuddles used to be a Amber main, but specifically in Ranked, he mains supports such as Bennett, Kazuha, and Shilonen. We can expect many of them to be banned today.
He's currently stealing our viewers too, live on stream. You'll go over there and say hi.
Sure, yeah.
One fun fact about Cuddles is that this may actually be his last season. Let's wish his team the best of luck, and I'm sure no regrets will be left.
Mm-hmm. So next up, we have Rion. So she's from the United States, and she mains Tartaglia, Chlorine, and Kaching. We've seen her play Chlorine to the max of her abilities. The U has to be aware of it. Just it can really pop off in some of the teams. And well, something more about her is that she started playing competitive Genshin in 2022 in BRT4, and as well she teaches math, and she goes on walks. Yeah.
Rion specifically says here that she is from New Jersey, which is the best state, and she asked us to explicitly mention that it is better than both Pennsylvania and Colorado.
Oh, that's to spite Joman, right? Oh, and Joman writes that his state, Colorado, is specifically better than New Jersey, a terrible state that is is a worse version of Pennsylvania. Like how a state can possibly be worse than Pennsylvania, but New Jersey somehow manages. Okay.
Did we give them both this spreadsheet? Do they know that they censored this? Or did they just guess that they would do this?
I'm not sure they do. So, hey, here's some rivalry right here.
Up next, we have Swezi from Australia. He's been playing since 2020 as well. He has a top 50 Emily on Akasha. He has a C1 Mauve, a Yelan C2, and he uses his C6 RL to just obliterate overworld bosses of teams. He's been playing competitive Genshin since July 2023, and he loves casting and putting himself out into the Genshin ranked community. I remember a while back, actually, on the Kirkcourt server, he was trying to get into Abyss Pickban and it never really clicked for him, so I'm glad he found somewhere where he can get some competitive Genshin in.
Yeah, I know that Swezi has been loving Genshin ranked recently. So, yeah, rounding off BLG, we have Lin. So he comes from the great state of Florida and has been starting playing Genshin since May of 2022. And yeah, during the Forever Ayaka banner, he likes to play Kinich, Lenny, and Nouvelette. And well, he really likes the teamwork component of Genshin Ranked. He is a software and a developer, and he plays volleyball and rock climbing.
In ranked, he plays Kinich and Nouvelette, but outside of ranked, he is a Dendro main. I remember him labbing out Kave combos. Just let you guys know that.
Oh,
he has not yet found a
right.
reason to use Kave in ranked, but stay tuned, I guess.
Well, this
somehow
team
Bobo
hasn't
got
surprised
Dory
us
into
for a
ranked,
lot.
so
So I'm sure that they are able to perhaps get Kave here in this final match. Perhaps we can hope for it.
I don't know what they could be cooking for that.
Yeah, so taking a look at the characters that they are best in. So we see Cuddles playing Shilonen with 75% win rate he is the support player. He has all the good stuff. The perfect Noblesse Oblige Bennett, the amazing Shilona gameplay, and etc. So if they do get any support draft, we can expect him to go on field. Next up, Rion, again, Chlorine, probably the best Chlorine player here in Genshin ranked. So it's definitely a danger that is worth mentioning. And Suezi with his C1 Wolani, we've seen it being played in the quarterfinals, like doing 18 seconds on a Simon is definitely another threat for UWU. And of course, Lin with the C2 Yalan having 100% win rate. All right, so here are all the players playing today, and let's head over to the draft. Before the draft happens, there is a coin flip. The team that wins the coin flip gets the opportunity to choose between playing as the first team or the second team. So since UWU is the higher seed, they get the chance to pick the side of the coin. And it looks like they picked tails. So let's take a look at how the coin decides.
Ooh.
And and the coin says heads. So this means the Balatro Gamblers get to choose their team, and they decided to go as Team 1 in the first half. So this means they will be Team 1, and UWU will be Team 2.
Moving on to the draft, I'm very excited, but Kurt, what do you think? Which bosses are we expecting to see today?
Oh, Mountain King. Well,
Oh.
Mountain King, wow.
Well, that's definitely something that BLG has been picking less. We see like a lot of really weird bosses coming from BLG, such as the Spirit Speaker, which is really, really toxic. I don't like it.
I really think it's a shocker. And Simon coming from UWU, very interesting that both teams have decided to opt into the DPS check route. During both of the semifinals matches, we actually have seen a majority of the bosses being elemental checks. But Rune Serpent coming up next.
Yeah, these are all HP limited bosses instead of like a Dendro cube or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow, really interesting. Yeah, I'm seeing Gold Flame here. Really, Nahida, Molani, both good at 3 out of 4 bosses. I would expect them to be the focus point of this draft.
Oh, the EFG, the Calibre Gap, Cuddle's favorite boss.
Another
Coming here.
Nahida and Molani pick. We could totally be seeing those 2 characters be traded off or banned both. I would expect if one team has one, they would have a big advantage of the other.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I think both of the teams have been picking bosses that are of a similar type, as opposed to trying to steer towards something specific. So, what kind of, I guess, battle do you think is going to happen in the picks and bans for the characters?
Yeah, this is gonna be crazy. Honestly, I'm not sure about the picks and bans, but I would definitely expect a dogfight in the execution of this stage. DPS checks very important on execution. Honestly, even if you sometimes lose in draft, there is still a very good chance that you could win in the execution tournaments.
Ooh,
Can each
the
ban is
niche
big.
ban.
They are targeting guys in here. But honestly, I think the bosses are really, like, even though they are really good DPS checks, but some of the inner mechanics really differs some of the characters, such as Rune Serpent being a lockout for Arlecchino, and Mountain King, specifically just this boss is anti-Dendro. But I can see UWU picking up their C6 Nahida to fight off the other 5 bosses. It can be a good pick for them.
Just want to talk about the Mavuika ban. Although we didn't introduce it in our stats page, Suezi's Mavuika has just been terrorizing the playoffs and regular season in this season, especially with the help by his C1.
Very
understand
true.
there.
And they actually go for Al Haytham van, so that's a great hit onto UWU's Dendro teams. So they will have to go for, if they do go for a Dendro team, the remaining pick is Tainari.
Very interesting. I think BLG has certainly done their homework. They know that UWU's only Nahitas are C6, which synergizes best with C6 Kudro Sara, and that duel synergizes best with Al Haytham and not Tainari. Like, the difference is way more vast with Al Haytham compared to Tainari, I believe, compared to the other Dendro, the other Electro Dendro cores.
Oh, and here we go. Cuddles Bennett is banned.
Interestingly, Moalani first pick. That's very surprising. She's definitely really good here, but Farina, as
Certainly.
really one of the most first picked characters, is still not taken. UWU could totally be opting towards a Farina based
Or
team.
double Hydro,
but-
yeah.
Yeah, Farina double Hydro, but that would leave Moalani Shilonen for BLG. The other alternative for UWU could be stealing both of Moalani's crucial supports, being Farina and Shilonen. It would kind of screw themselves over, but I would say that as Team 2, they have the 4th pick. They can afford one pick to be wasted as a denial.
Do you
And they
think
do
the two
go for Farina.
are the two Dendro bans an attempt to ban Nahida without banning Nahida?
Definitely Al Haytham, but no, Kinich is definitely just a target man towards Kaizen. He has flexed quite a few of his 6-shot Kinich tags that I'm sure BLG is scared. Even a Kinich without Bennett is extremely, extremely good.
So what UWU has to do right now is, well, of course, to pair up a good DPS with Farina, but what? Oh, and Hu Tao's.
They end up picking Hu Tao here. Very interesting. Hu Tao definitely by far the best teammate remaining for Farina if paired up with either Yelan or Nuvalet. And yeah, as we kind of predicted, both teams opting for a very DPS heavy. We kind of don't see any steals here, but really kind of impossible unless you steal both that Shilonen and Farina.
Yeah, and we now see the Balatro Gamblers getting that ultimate Mualani team. We should be expecting a lot of like 600k vapes from Mualani. That's a C1 Mualani, by the way. So that's a lot of DPS.
Are any of the bosses really stopping the Mualani or Lakino Shilonen team? I think they're just gonna run that through all the bosses.
There
right?
isn't. Like
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
6 of these bosses
There
are
really
good
isn't,
for it.
but I would say Ruin Serpent and Gold Flame could both be subpar to the Mulan team. Against most teams, that Mulan team probably would be fine, but UWU has that Farina Nuvalet core. Just
Yes.
very strong.
It looks like both teams has gotten a top tier combo right here. Not only there's a Mualani vape, there's a Hu Tao vape.
Yeah, just both teams got incredibly good teams. I would, if not looking at the specific teams, I would actually say that UWU has a lot of the advantage. I would say that theoretically, Farina Hu Tao is better, but looking at their group stages, I actually don't think they performed the best. Especially on their Hu Tao player, I don't think they'll be able to perform the peak, but they could still be able to win because the sheer power of that team.
Yeah, and we see the two best Anmo VV supports being banned here in Chaska and Kazuha. And it looks
C6
like
Nahida
UWU still
picked
picks
anyway.
Nahida. So
Well,
they're probably cooking something up.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I'm not sure exactly if they're going to use the Nikita though, or maybe they're just trying to prevent BLG from using.
Yeah, and the Chlorine respawn right here to sort of weaken their Dendro teams, and the Tanari pick solidifies it.
yep.
Yeah, I think that UWU have to pivot. I would say that they probably would go for Wander, just judging off of their Farina Nuvalet Hu Tao team's only weakness being the Gold Flame. Yeah, that team really works on every single boss.
They're just trying to
True.
find a team to use against Gold Flame.
Yeah, I would say that you simply slot the Hu Tao with a Wander on Vivi,
Oh,
and there we go.
Okay. And here is a Hyper Nuvalet coming. Yeah, and that is also a C2 cash flow wanderer. So expect some competitive time as well from UWU
That's
side.
very insane. Cashflow being the best in slot weapon, even better than his signature in this specific Veroni team.
It's all about the money. Hey, Lenny.
Hey, here's Joman's Lenny coming in their last pick here, and Kujusara, probably a throwaway pick, but it could work in a sort of Chlorine Tinari Dendro team.
Yeah, potentially.
We'll have to see.
For working on Twin Serpent and
I just don't know why they would use Chlorine Tinari Sarah instead of the Mulani Arlecchino Chilonen into these bosses.
True.
Maybe they
Mulani
fear
team
not
is
one cycling Isomon for some reason.
I think
Yeah.
it's definitely going to be potentially useful on Rune Serpent and Gold Flame, because Rune Serpent with normal Arlecchino, normally with Arlecchino, Rune Serpent's destroys her bond, and even more so with Molani, because normally when you are playing on Rune Serpent, Arlecchino is the only one that has to wait to cook her bond, which means she has no DPS uptime for the first 5 seconds. But when paired up with Molani, since Molani is reliant on Arlecchino's pyro application, the entire team has to wait for 5 seconds until their DPS uptime. Or Arlecchino could opt to early absorb, which would mean a great DPS loss, but I do believe that should be their best option.
all right. And here we go. In your screen right now, you see the practice time for them. Both teams actually get 5 minutes of prep time to sort of warm themselves up, like to see which of their drafted teams get the better time for some of the bosses that they may not have practiced much. But seeing that all of these bosses are basically the most general DPS bosses, I'm pretty sure they're confident in going in here. But yeah, let's take a look at what they decide to go here. So
yeah, I'm honestly a little bit disappointed in that all of these bosses are DPS checks, which means we are going to see just the same bosses from the Swiss stage, from some of the previous matches. Nothing, probably no brand new tech that would surprise us. But at the same time, these are the bosses that showcase the most out of a player's skill. And really here, the best execution would win.
yeah, it really is. So, like for example, the Mualani team, it really depends on Mualani being able to hit all of her shots without missing a lot of, like missing it as the boss keeps moving around. For example, in Rune Serpent, there might be a chance for Mualani to completely miss the shot, wasting a lot of the potential DPS, and ultimately making the team lose a boss. So we'll have to take a look at how they perform here. As we now see 250k on Mualani, perhaps a little bit lesser than what I expected, but that is still a good pace for
Maybe it's just not critting because I just saw 43k.
Oh no, that was 430k from the
or 403k. There it is.
Yeah, and we haven't introduced Rion's Arlecchino yet, even though her favorite character and best character is Colorind. Arlecchino is probably just very closely behind as her second best character. She's also one of the best Arlecchino players in ranked. Could definitely expect some great
Can confirm.
The Arlecchino.
Yeah, and we see this Hu Tao Hyper Vape team coming in here. Already going more than halfway there with... actually, that's a really good pace here.
Incredibly
That
good.
is
I would
impressive.
maybe expect a 22 to 23 second Rune Serpent clear. Looks like the Hu Tao build is just insanely good. Normal Hu Tao, top 1%
Wow.
90k crit attacks. This one's doing 93k.
Seeing this clear, I can automatically tell that this match is going to be close. I can already see the VARs going in, like, good luck to the judges. And, speaking of the refs, hey, shout out to the ref team, Kyo, Day, and a player, as well as the whole ref team behind the scenes, helping us to to judge how this match goes. If in case of this match going in like becoming in a matter of seconds, they will be the one judging it. So good luck to them, and hey, let's thank them too for help making this match happen, and also for Wafer for production. Props to them.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it looks like BLG still wants to practice Mountain King. After all, that is the first boss, and Arlie really wants to practice getting that bond up just in time for Mualani to hit it.
Do you feel like they had any what's it called, surprises in the draft? I feel like both teams kind of knew what they were looking for, and they ended up with something that they wanted. It kind of feels like we're just watching practice matches, because if every click was really fast.
Yeah, I agree. I would say the one shocker is the Molani first pick. Like, I don't really think Molani is the most optimal on all these bosses compared to something like a Farina Nouvelette core, which BLG would be able to guarantee if they were to pick Farina first.
Yeah, one thing that surprised me is like both teams banning a lot of the key DPS characters instead of the supports. So seeing the Mualani first pick, they probably have a lot more like reasonable space to grab a support later on in the draft. So I think securing that Mualani pick is it just solidifies their
Their DPS
team.
Or
Yeah, securing it.
I really think it's just a massive risk taken, though. Yes, they secured a very, very great core, but at what cost? They gave away Hu Tao, Farina, Nouvelette. Really looking at these practice times, I feel like UWU actually does have a slight advantage going in the first half.
And here it looks like the time is up and the teams are getting ready. They get the opportunity to fill up their HP bar as well as their energy for all of their characters. But however, keep this in mind, they are not allowed to recharge their energy as well as heal themselves in between bosses. They can only do that within their playtime, which is when they are fighting the boss. So this is how rank works. So both teams has to be careful of managing both at the same time.
Yeah, there's
And
really
that's-
just no room for error.
And that's why Arlecchino was so good in ranked, because after that first match, or that first boss, Arlecchino gets to farm bond for the rest of the fights, which is why the Rune Serpent pick in the middle is important. It resets Aura's bond.
Yeah. Oh yeah, also, hey, thanks for the donation, Kurt.
No problem. I really hope it vanishes somewhat soon, because it currently blocks the timer.
Oh, right.
I don't
yeah,
know if you guys can do anything about Wafer. I believe in you.
Yeah. So for anyone who has the money to donate to charity, you can go to the QR code in the bottom right side to donate to the American Heart Association. It really helps to help people with different kinds of heart diseases, and to just and if you don't have the money for charity, keeping a healthy lifestyle or encouraging people around you to stay healthy is also a good way to spread the message. And now, as we see, the players here is pretty much flexing their characters. Shilonen C1 with Fast Sword, the ultimate battery here, and C6 Kudosara with Elegy of the End.
Oh, so
Why is Moika?
that's not updated yet.
I don't think Moika got picked. Do you think we're gonna have a more exciting, I guess, draft in the second half? You reckon they will? I feel like this is kind of like a tester. Both of them are just trying to pick their most powerful teams into all the damage check bosses, and then they're gonna see like, okay, I think we can out DPS the other team. And then in the second half, we'll have a situation where one of them goes, okay, we can't out DPS them. Time to screw their teams.
Yeah.
Going with the rules of best of 2, there are no repeat bosses allowed in the second half, which means all PS checks bosses will be gone.
True.
Yeah.
So this, okay.
Yeah, so we can expect to see a lot more elemental checks or some of the more mechanically different bosses to come into play. So we can definitely expect it. As we
Looking
now,
forward to the cube maxing.
yeah. So again, because BLG is Team 1, they will do the boss run first. And even though, UWU gets the opportunity to look at BLG's run first, the opposite will happen as they go into the second half of the game. So it kind of balances it out.
I really hope that the refs say the time in the chat, because it appears that my little pop-up for the donation is not going away.
Mountain King here. Really, BLG, I would say the one thing that we are looking out for is whether or not vape its fireballs. As the norm of the aura in this team is Hydro, it's going to be very difficult, but if they pull it off, it's going to be very rewarding. See a 350k vaporize there. So Arlecchino ult. I think
Alright.
I can't see the timer right now, but what we're looking for is about a 30-second clear. I would say anything really slower than that, can easily beat.
That's quite a bit. Do you think they missed some vapes? I know that the Waffle here was trying to fix the overlay, so we didn't get to see it, but
Yeah, they didn't, but this team is just not that insane, especially with Arlecchino not having start with Bond. The advantage here of this Hu Tao team, on the other hand, is that the default aura is Hydro, which means that you're guaranteed to vape those massive hits the Mountain King creates, turning them from 200k to 300k, which is just free. Lots of damage, yeah.
Yeah.
oh, thank you, Waffle.
And
right now,
as
Hu Tao have to pop all those
clear.
fruits. And
Boom.
27s. So the first flag goes up on UWU's side.
Hu Tao is actually very good for this boss, with one small downside, which is that she could be dashing to sort of through the boss and sometimes be completely launched up into the air. That's going to be a huge time loss and a huge charge type loss if that does happen, but hopefully it doesn't, and there are definitely ways to prevent that.
Asamon Jank has been the ruiner of runs for years at this point.
Yes, we might see a lot of insane RNG.
Oh, no, and BLG, I believe I see the C1 being completely wasted on the res. I think, yeah, they just completely lost the C1 hit. I see 100k. I don't think that was definitely too early, but they seem like they still are able to get maybe a 23, 24 seconds clear. 25.
25.
Meanwhile, we have cursed units like Dory getting bonus power in co-op. Anyway, it looks like they're finally starting the match.
Here we go.
Instantly, Bobo is able to get that energy, although maybe with a tiny bit of delay.
The time to beat is 25 seconds.
Yeah, the Hu Tao's charging attack away. We're looking for 10 charge attacks here, 10 into CD. Unfortunately, some non-crits here, and the burst.
It looks like they're going to take it home.
Here.
Ooh, that was
22 seconds.
Yeah, as I said before, assignment, it's not looking for BLG here. They have to early absorb, I believe, to try to win this boss. And
the Arlecchino
but
Bond.
I believe Molani's fight came before Shalona, and I think they opt for the on purpose non-crystallize on Molani just to get that 3 Sharky bites and the burst, and it's working out very well. And again, purposely, I believe no crystallized Arlecchino again. Early absorb. Can they take it down?
Here is the damage phase. They need all the damage here. And
Oh,
And
One
they
more
are
Mualani hit.
barely able to
Oh,
take
and
it
it
down.
sealed the deal
32.
just in
Yeah.
time.
Just in time. Oh my god. They should be able to take this away, especially with Hu Tao, Nuvolet Farina having a better second rotation. Generally the second rotation here just is superior with this team because you don't have to crystallize. There's no complicated setups that require some kind of aura manipulation.
All right.
You see here, actually this is going a bit worse than practice, but no. They cycled 75%. Yeah, very
here's the damage. Yeah.
here. And as Hu Tao's uptime, her E comes back up. They should be able to take this away in maybe 26, 27, earning themselves a 3-0
27.
lead.
A beautiful 27 clear.
Yeah, this
Do
is
you
a very
think-
dire situation for BLG. And if I'm BLG here, I would probably be looking to deciding whether or not I would be throwing Gold Flame in order to stack Arlecchino Bond. And they are going in here immediately. I'm sorry. An immediate.
I'm not sure if they can afford any throws at this point because we're so deep into the.
Yeah,
Sad.
I don't think so, but I do think that might be the guaranteed play because if they do lose here, that would probably mean they would just be 4 or even 5-0 down here, but a pretty decent clear definitely on goal. Flame, the Arlecchino taking a little bit of damage with a little bit of one stacking near the end, pretty nice, and a 27-second clear, but again, I believe this is completely beatable. Like, they have a member with Pyro, while here they should be swapping to the Wander, and honestly, I've seen this team clearing in under 20 seconds with just if the Wander plays properly and doesn't let the gold and doesn't stay too far away, letting the Gold Flame do its drill attack, they should be able to take it away here easily. And then the last boss here, Drake, just very good Mualani boss, definitely very good Arlecchino boss if she is able to retain that bond, but it's also an extremely good Hu Tao boss, one of the best Hu Tao bosses here. And they are going in here. Ooh, Wander is staying close, yep, just making sure there's no drill attack. Nuvolet doing 40Ks, yeah. No
Halfway
VV30.
there at 10 seconds.
No, this is gonna be sub 20 seconds.
That's,
Yeah, easily sub
wow,
20.
lasering it down. 18 seconds is
18.
beautiful.
Gee, they do have some bond to start, which is very, very important. Arlecchino do not need to early absorb anymore, but the important thing here that we were looking for is 3 bites on Mualani in her first D. If they're not able to get 3 bites, they can't win.
They
So
really
incredibly
need
important.
to.
That's perfect here. Yeah, very
Oh,
perfect
and-
dodges. Very
yeah.
nice gameplay. Arlecchino.
This is Kado's
oh, yeah,
favorite boss after all.
yeah,
They
this is a
really
great
need.
boss. Great absorb, just very good. Yeah, the burst hit and 20
Oh,
seconds.
20 seconds, beautiful.
You know, a bit of risk with these skilled players is just no problem at all.
And here they go. And
And EFG unfortunately is moving around so much. This is actually looking a bit abnormal for an EFG move. I think it may have
I've
actually
never
hardly
seen
been
that. I've
Yeah, I
never
know.
seen EFG do that.
And
There are 5
here
seconds
they've already
left.
lost. I think it's just best if they give up and gather energy, and that is exactly what they're doing. I think the Hu Tao and Nuvolet has both already escaped from the arena as they are full energy, and the Farina should be filling suit right after. She is one shot, in fact, yep, and they give up here. BLG here is able to win, and they definitely have the tools to do so. They have a chance, but otherwise, I think UWU will just be getting away with this completely. 5-1 is just completely unheard of. I don't think they can come back. But a 4-2 perhaps.
yeah, Shilonen double scrolling right here, giving both Arlecchino and Mualani the most damage as
Yeah,
they
and I
can
believe
get.
that Mualani actually has
But-
messed up. No third shark bite, unfortunately, which means that this is going to be a similar clear time to assignment, even though they have full bond.
Oh,
Yeah,
they were really close on that last E.
yeah,
or normal.
just a bit of edge. Nothing new to Mualani teams. Yeah, the Arlecchino has died, but yeah, just very smart tactical gameplay there from Rion. This is the last boss. You do want to just sacrifice everything and go for damage.
Do you think that the UWU team is a harder team to play than the BLG team, or?
Oh, actually pretty interesting. I probably would say that the UWU team is I think they have screwed up the Farina. Yeah, Farina fanfare in the beginning a little bit, and Hu Tao. Yeah, again, just Hu Tao over 50%. This is really bad for UWU, but I think they're just still able to take it away, pretty easily. But as I
If they can edge it, and
oh
and they
my god,
do.
1 second difference. Going back to the teams, I believe UWU's team is probably a little bit less difficult, a little bit easier. The Hu Tao player definitely takes the full load of the team's difficulty rating, while
Mhm.
for BLG, the Milani and Arlecchino both have to coordinate quite well in order for the team to work.
Yeah, and this ends off the first half of this match with a 5-1 advantage for UWU. And as we see the times here, the times are actually pretty competitive. We see like margins of perhaps 2 seconds in Drake and 3 seconds in Simon. We see 5 seconds between Moon and Serpent. Hey, BLG has been putting up a good fight, and despite their bad starts, I think them being on Team 2 will give them the advantage here. Pretty much all of the DPS bosses are now off the table, so here we are definitely going to be seeing elemental checks, and this sets up a good ground for different types of elemental teams that we might not have been
What could we be
expecting.
expecting to see here?
I'm not sure you want to be trying to mount a comeback into a bunch of elemental checks, especially if the elemental checks pull you into 2 different types of teams, because then you will need to produce teams that can beat both types of elemental checks, and especially with the how much they have to win. They have to win what, 5-1, so they have to win 5 in the upcoming in order to bring it to overtime.
I think the overall goal here for BLG should be either opting for all 3 of their picks to be maybe pyro oriented, with boss picks such as Swanee, such as Spirit Speaker, or for all their picks to be sort of electro bosses, again pyro themed, maybe opting for a Chevrus as we see from their previous matches, something of that sort. They really want to avoid having the bosses maybe in 2 particular echelons of teams, which if that does happen, it means that UWU can probably take away at least half, as BLG would have to go for one or the other, and obviously they have to win. They are forced to win 5 bosses here. It's going to be a very steep road ahead of them.
Oh man,
It's
I'm
a hard
not
road
sure
to
how this
climb.
can go. If if UWU,
Oh, never mind.
if UWU, for example, identifies the fact that they have specific types of bosses that they need to go for, they can just counter pick in the boss selection, right? If they see TST like pick a pyro boss, then UWU can just pick the opposite, a team that a pyro team could not counter, and they can lose in the boss selection.
Oh yeah, I think they might totally do that. Like if BLG picks Thunderbird, maybe Electrocube, and maybe the Spirit Speaker, UWU could totally pick 3 Hydro bosses.
Oh,
If
the Spirit
BLG
Speaker.
picks opting towards more of a Pyro focus, they could just opt for the Hydro focus and win their Hydro bosses. They only need to win 2 bosses here, and they will be our champions.
Yeah, I am expecting Spirit Speaker here. This is in my opinion their boss. It is only them who is brave enough to pick Spirit Speaker, and they're gonna pull it out.
Incredibly dangerous.
I'm looking forward to Spirit Speaker first pick, Oceanid second pick.
Mhm.
Sure.
However,
Yes.
I'm a little bit
Yes.
scared as BLG to pick Spirit Speaker because UWU probably has the most extensive character roster out of any team, and with that C2 Klee that they have in their arsenal, C2 Klee is incredibly good and just would be a completely waste of a ban if you would ban her, but she's just incredibly good on Spirit Speaker and pretty good on Oceanid. Like that could be a great advantage. Like I actually don't think BLG may have the experience advantage over UWU, but I don't think they have the character or roster advantage over UWU if they were to pick Spirit Speaker or Oceanid.
All right, and timer has started, and
There's Weenut.
Rina, this is actually one of their most picked bosses throughout the Swiss stage. I believe that they have picked it for 4 times. And
Helios.
Coppelius. Instead of Coppelia, which is more of a DPS check, Coppelius has the elemental shield that pretty much requires either a Fontaine character with the correct arc alignment or the special Narcissus Croix sword.
That's a pretty good choice. It gives them some flexibility into their pick. They don't necessarily need to run something like Burn the Cryo. They could just run the sword, so it gives them some flexibility into whatever UWU picks here.
They
So
could
this
totally
depends
kill
on
it in within
if-
20 seconds.
Yeah.
Completely
PMA.
ignored the boss mechanics. And again,
Yeah.
PMA, UWU opting for the DPS checks.
Knave.
All for them in the first side. Yep.
So instead
Knave.
going for a anti-pyro.
Nyx makes a lot of sense, although Knave is also, although is one of BLG's strongest picks, is also one of UWU's regular picks. We expect both of them to be practicing a lot there.
Ooh, actually, are we seeing a Narwhal pick from UWU? That's
No.
Love to
Oh,
see it in
actually, it's
Narwhal, but I don't
Wani.
think we'll be taking that risk. Narwhal is just a really risky boss, and they're up this much.
Sony
And-
and
Oh,
Primovic.
Primo Geo Bishop.
Primo
I
Bishop.
believe this is the third time it is being picked.
Oh, this is a
BLG
really
picked it
cursed
once,
roster.
and GMT1 picked it the second time.
The only way
Yeah,
this could
and-
get worse is if someone picked Ocean.
Shallonen ban here. If we just
Shallonen
take
ban.
a look at the boss roster here, we do see that UWU has done a relatively good job at spreading around the elements. We see here Coppelius needs Pyro, Swanee needs Pyro and Cryo generally, but mainly Cryo, and then Knave needs generally Hydro or just some kind of healer. It's gonna be pretty hard for one specific team to be over all of those.
The BLG, our underdogs here, are trying to find a team that can somehow beat 5 of these bosses faster than UWU's teams.
I would say the only solution here is probably a Molani core, maybe an Arlecchino core, maybe some kind of Bennett core. Kind of
Ooh,
it, and
Chlorinde.
It looks like they have the
ban
chance for it here.
targeting Rion.
they're open.
And the
but here,
Shallonen
I
pick
would
is
actually-
targeting
I think BLG actually
Tar-
has to ban Kinich here.
Cutters.
If they don't ban Kinich, UWU would simply pick Bennett first and go for that Kinich. And as we all know, Kaizen's Kinich is just absolutely insane. I feel like there's just no comeback if Kaizen manages to get his Kinich.
That's right. It's
on the
setting up to be a really Kinich or even Cryo focused match here. We do know that UWU has a C6
There's a Kinich
Ayaka. Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah, Stacey just incredibly good on Swanee as a backup pick. I do expect probably the Bennett first pick here.
Yes.
And it's,
We also know that Rion has a pretty good Ganyu. So let's see what they actually pick here.
Throwing it back to the Swiss, UWU won in their 1v1 before in the Swiss, 4-3. So
Yeah, it was a
Nikita's
close
actually
match.
still open. I would say that if it was just a regular match and they weren't up 5-1, UWU would probably opt for the Nikita. Nikita's pretty good for most of these bosses, but I would say Bennett is the safest pick overall. Just you have a
yeah,
healer.
UWU doesn't need to really beat them in these matches. They just need to outlast them, so to say.
Yeah, and BLG here picks Arlecchino. I would expect the second pick to be either Linny or Molani. There we go. Arlecchino leading counter picks. They're two
But this sets up for a
Yes.
Ganyu pick for UWU. As well as
It does.
Mawika.
It is open. Oh my god, yeah, Mavuika is open. That is, I feel like that's got to be a mistake, right? Mavuika is just one of the best drivers for Bennett. She is also one of the most risky, so maybe BLG is banking on the maybe
Skill
some
issue gaming.
messing up. Yeah, I don't think UWU has practiced Mavuika Ganyu, the Mavuika Ganyu core too much because they just have so many other options. But if forced, I feel like maybe they should be able to perform. And we see the Ganyu here.
There's the Ganyu.
Very expected.
And what's the Pyro? Will it actually...
It should be Mavuika, but they could also pivot into a Emily. But
Oh,
no way, they should just go for the Ganyu Mavuika.
no, about Emily.
On the other hand, BLG should be going for the Arlecchino Linny. Kazuha, that definitely works on pretty much all bosses. I'd say Knave is probably their only weakness, which would mean that we would be expecting probably a Nuvolette ban on the second side for Nuvolette But yeah, should be a Kazuha pick here. Oh, and a Kazuha pick here.
Kazuha,
actually.
there it is.
That's very surprising.
I
This means that
see.
BLG doesn't have a very optimal support. They go for the Sid Lolly, but
And
Sid Lolly just
BLG
not a very good DPS support.
Could BLG pick Moika? Maybe that's the reason. There's not really.
Might ban Moika. Yeah, there we go.
There it is.
Yeah,
So,
I
is
don't-
Uwu stranded here?
I feel like they have to ban Nuvolite. If they don't ban Nuvolite, that's definitely going to be BLG's pick. But if they ban Nuvolite, Yelan is certainly going to be picked. But what is BLG's core here? What are they playing? They still don't have a team that's settled.
Their only shredder is the Lali here.
Yeah,
And-
maybe the Nahida pick could be also possible on the second side. So maybe they're going to be leaving the Nuvolite open, and if BLG picks Nuvolite, they go for the Nahida. If BLG goes for the Nahida, they go for the Nuvolite. But yeah, I think they're gonna go for the Nuvolite. Oh, and they banned for the Nahida, but BLG
That
should
leaves
pick-
Mualani here.
Ooh.
Yeah, Nahida is definitely very
Oh,
valid.
Mualani.
Yeah,
This
they
is
could
such a
still-
weird draft.
Mualani
Mualani
is
is too
still
close.
open, but Shilonen is banned, so unfortunately, don't. Shilonen and Farina both banned, being two of our best supports. Yeah, they do
Oh.
pick the Mualani here, but I do believe that's probably more of a denial pick. Which is still interesting.
Yeah.
Who's Pyro or just Driver for Ganyu is? I don't think they have one. Like, it's gotta be Hu Tao, but it's not gonna be that great.
Or perhaps
Well-
going for Emily.
I'm not sure if they have a C1 Emily. Emily's C1 just
Oh,
completely massive.
they have C0s.
Oh my
And-
god,
oh,
we
C2
both-
clear.
Completely missed that. C2 Klee is definitely not much of a DPS, but her C2 defense strategy is incredibly important.
I wonder how much damage that team does. I've never
The-
seen that.
If they pick Clee, they are confident in using her.
Yeah, it's definitely
So-
not the most optimal Bennett team, but at the same time, they allowed themselves to steal that Kazuha, which means that neither is BLG's team is neither is optimal either. Like they're forced to play that Sit Lolly with Mualani, just no healer at all. They're
Oh,
also
there's the Emily.
Ooh.
Wow.
So we are seeing a burn melt here from UWU side, but this leaves for BLG to either snipe a Sucrose or perhaps go with something different.
Going for Sit Lolly as the support and going for Nuvolite Yelan here, or Nuvolite Chlorine, or Yelan Chlorine. I believe their Yelan is actually superior to their Nuvolite. They really need a character for Knave here. Knave is just, yeah, they have a double Pyrocore. I don't think Mualani is going to survive on Knave. Yep, the Yelan there. I would expect Chlorine to follow. Oh, my bad. Chlorine's actually banned, so probably Nuvolite. Well, actually, yeah, Sit Lolly with Chlorine is not the best pairing. Of course, they would be going for Sid Lolly, Yelan Nuvolite.
I'm a little worried about this Clay. I fear Clee's life.
Yeah, I think if played very optimally, Klee will be great, but these bosses aren't exactly the best for just the chase round. And the Chaska pick, maybe they will be going for Yelan Chaska or Knave. Or, yeah, Chaska pick is
Or
pretty nice. Honestly,
Monopyro.
forgot about her.
Casca?
She's definitely a superior support compared to Sid Lolly, I would say, for a lot of these teams.
What's the consolation on the Sit Lolly?
I believe it is C1. for-
C1, I think, yeah.
Oh,
Yes, this should be the Sid Lolly as well.
Bad
Definitely very
Shilonen.
I'm not sure. I don't actually think Sid Lolly is better than Shilonen.
You know, I'm
You-
saying bad Shilonen. No heals.
Oh yeah. Well, she's
There's the
definitely
Dory.
not bad because of that cryo application. And the Dory pick here.
Oh, Dory
Think
pick. That's Bobo's call.
Yeah. Maybe they'll just
He's
be-
trying to fluff the Dory win rates.
Maybe they're just going for the Dory as a healer, perhaps. Who can definitely afford to throw a few bosses for energy for healing. But I would say
The
the one
only-
thing we're looking out for here is the Klee gameplay. Klee has very limited mobility, which means on a boss like Rina, she has to preemptively predict where it's going to come out of. If the player is able to predict this very well, they can definitely have a very good clear. But if not, I think it's going to completely punish them.
Yeah, and well, all that UWU needs to win this game is to secure 2 of the bosses. And
That's right.
seeing that they have the lesser optimal melt teams, it kind of makes them like it doesn't seem like a huge victory for them. We might see BLG coming back with these kinds of mono teams.
Mhm. It definitely seems like there's a lot to come back from, and given the fact that UWU actually cleared Drake in the first side at a 22.96 time, I do think they have the advantage if overtime actually comes, which is already going to be a luxury. But
Mhm.
like, yeah, I just obviously coming all back on all 6 bosses feels impossible, but that really should honestly be what they're looking for. Even if BLG gets into overtime, they would be a little bit disadvantaged in my opinion.
They'd have to use these teams going to overtime, right?
Yeah, so either a team from the first side or a team from the second side, but
Oh, I see. Whatever they used before. I see.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think they have. If they do get into overtime, I'm not sure if they have a team that can beat the team that UWU brought in the first half.
I'm not sure, and they opt for the Emily here instead of Klee. Yeah, Emily definitely has a lot more room for error. Maybe they would be going for some kind of an Emily Klee core instead, and because Ganyu is just a pretty bad character on Coppelius with that cryo resistant, and they managed to barely cycle Weenut. Yeah, it's a very standard clear here, but yeah, it's definitely what they have.
It's a suboptimal time here.
Definitely not the greatest, but they
Do
were
you
able
think
to.
the BLG has a chance here?
I certainly think they do.
They do.
Like,
Yeah, I think
a lot
BLG
of the bosses in the beginning allows Arlecchino to bond stack until like the Knave there, but I think BLG definitely has higher chances to win bosses here.
I think UWU and myself and all of the casters honestly missing Chaska is kind of an important point. Chaska being just probably the best support remaining, and being able to be stolen at the 5th pick is just such great value for BLG.
Mm-hmm.
And
What?
I'm not sure if the character distribution is correct,
I'm
but
just,
it actually
I'm just
looks
reading.
like opting not to play a Chaska.
I'm just reading
Arlecchino.
Foster's comments talking about how Arlecchino without Bond is a bottom 5 DPS.
Before, yeah, Arlecchino on Weenut especially is just night and day with or without Bond. I think like her times could literally fluctuate between 5 or 10 seconds.
That's
if
a
you
lot.
have a little bit of Bond, yeah. Just having that extra bit of Bond allows you to do so much more damage in the first 5 seconds that is otherwise completely just wasted. Looking at the stream here, BLG, are they actually going to play Linny, Yelan, Chaska? Not quite sure.
Perhaps it is a team that can surprise us.
Yeah,
But
Definitely.
they do have to do it quick because there's 40 seconds left until
yeah.
we head into the game.
Maybe this team is like
phase.
crazy good because like Lin has a 100% win rate on Yolan, so maybe Yolan is just sleeper OP.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's Swezi on
Swezi,
the
yeah.
land, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
they certainly have very great players and characters here, but I don't think. Oh my god, Linny has died, but I don't think this team has the best strategy. Like, Linny is able to super consistently vape, but he is the pyro character that benefits the least from vaping. He hates vaping, but they were able to almost cycle even without Linny. Yeah, this is definitely looking to be a pretty good team.
GLHF to our players. Here comes Burn
Here they
Melt.
go.
Here they wait for the tech. Bennett should be applying.
Be careful of the
pyro.
swipe though.
Bennett applying pyro. Oh my god, yeah.
Ooh,
It didn't.
What the
not-
Ganyu almost
Ganyu.
dies.
didn't not the
Okay,
other-
okay.
Ganyu
That
was
could have been
rubbish.
detrimental for them.
This actually might be kind of bad. Emily is continuously burning, which is really good for Ganyu, but yeah, I think they might
They need
struggle
to keep the
phase it.
pyro aura on.
They don't-
No pyro aura, no pyro aura. We
Yeah, they
have
failed to phase it. Maybe they can still salvage it slightly here. If they can't, then this is just completely lost.
Okay.
I think they barely manage. Yeah, they barely manage, but this is still going to be probably over 40 seconds.
Yeah, this looks like, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is BLG's chance. Being Team 2, they're able to see UWU's game
There's a
clear
40,
time.
44
and-
time.
Yeah, this is definitely very suboptimal. I think if BLG plays this very smartly, they should be trying for just like a half clear, maybe trying to just, they could be just winning by like 3 seconds, but like trying to stack bond. Oh, and they don't opt for the Arlecchino. So instead, maybe here they would be saving full energy.
Yep.
Here,
And
so-
for the viewers wondering, the ref here is using an electro character because of Chaska being here. The idea of this is to nerf Chaska as much as the ref can in order to eliminate any vapes or melt reactions. So that's the
Yeah.
theory
I
behind
think
it.
middle ground
And
here.
here
while
they go.
different element.
They get the swipe,
Yeah, they swipe
and
Lenny
then he survives this.
dodges that, and they're doing very good damage. Yeah, they almost phased it here. Yeah, I think they already have phased it. This is just a very good clear coming out from BLG. They should honestly be focusing on trying to get full energy for the next
Yeah, because
boss.
they should have the space to farm energy and get into and still beat them, right?
This is just a really good
Yep.
start. I feel like they.
Yep.
I feel like they might honestly be able to win the next boss as well.
And
This
that is a comfortable win for
Double stack.
BLG. And here they go. Ref rushing to the ref spot here.
Rushing to press spot as the game starts.
Alright.
A little bit of hammer.
If we can get more visual of this.
Wait, they're doing their best.
Team's still doing okay.
Alright.
damage with this. Yeah. But like Kazuha just not buffing the Emily is just unfortunate, as well as the Emily being C0. They're still doing a clear, which is definitely, I would say, a great idea. And this team has just so much pyro application. I would expect the cryo shield to be going instantly down. Not quite. Kazuha's burst is a little bit down here.
I'm not sure if
They do get
Kazuha
the shield
burst was
down,
timed
but-
well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't think they focus too much on maybe having an optimal clear here. Maybe they're just trying to not die while having full energy, which is definitely the goal
Yeah.
here.
Makes sense, especially with the Bennett.
Yep.
Looking at the
Optimizing
next boss.
recharging.
Yeah, definitely want full energy on that one. Another full ult, and they're ulting for DNF, I believe.
If they can get to a safe place. Or else they're gonna get sniped off.
They leaving? Yeah, they are all leaving. Okay, so very comfortable in here for BLG. They can just honestly, if I'm BLG, maybe I pull out the Arlecchino here and stack full bond. This is actually maybe a mistake by UWU. Like giving the opportunity to stack full bond on Arlecchino is so valuable, even though Arlecchino is not able to receive the most support potential.
At this point, I think they should. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they should totally. Yeah, there we go. There's pulling out the
Alright.
Arlecchino. Full bond Arlecchino on PMA. BLG can win 3 in a row here on the second half.
And we see
Actually, so
Linny getting all the stacks here. Going for the early ult. But
So they just need
did it,
a
did it
clear,
do-
right?
Yeah, they
they
need
actually don't
to
even need to clear. They
just
can
to
just
clear.
3-minute DNF. I think the safest option would have been even to opt for a prototype Amber Molani on Swezi, just because I believe
Max
one
heals.
was full HP. Like, yeah, the Linny here actually have to play a little bit risky just to get energy, because Linny can only heal from his burst if he is without. Oh yeah, my bad. Actually, C1 is not allowed P-Ember. They just there is no healing, so Linny has to self-sustain. But Lin here is doing very good job at that.
He's playing super
And
safe.
he's
Oh
actually-
no!
Oh no!
So much for that.
This is
Linny actually got sniped by
this is a little
Copilia.
bit problematic. I don't think it's gonna be the biggest problem, because if they have full one Arlecchino, they're probably just gonna be going for that starting from now. But I don't think they can use Linny a single time from now on. Just no HP Linny is just a terrible character in general. And with no healer, he just doesn't have what it takes to do anything.
Okay, no, hopefully the Arl doesn't die. God bless.
Yeah, I'm actually so glad to see a comeback here. Like, after the first game, who actually thought BLG had a chance? Like, I really thought they were just done for, but this is just an amazing
Well,
comeback.
They drafted well.
Yeah,
It's
that was a
not
good draft.
nowhere near finished. They're still by no means ahead. And UWU here playing pretty decently. They're definitely taking relatively big amounts of damage, but they're also clearing it relatively well. But yeah, it's a little bit of a slow phasing. Maybe we'll expect a 45-second clear on PMA here. And they don't get the best minion.
They got snake minion.
Did you get this?
But they cleared it
Sentinel?
instantly, very
I
well
hate
played.
watching the Ganyu health bar. My
Yeah,
heart
oh my
cannot
God.
take this.
Yeah, just oh my god, Ganyu doing so much damage, 120k. Without the burst is absolutely insane. With full bond Arlecchino, this should be just short work. I don't think they would
Yep.
struggle that much here. Although I believe Rion's Arlecchino build is not that optimized for Vaporize. But Swezi's Yelan is certainly super good. Just completely
But they're having a good
overpowering
start here.
here. Arlecchino taking a
Halfway
bit of
there
a
already.
damage. Oh,
Wow.
they almost managed to cycle it. This is actually a little bit bad. And Arlecchino's
Oh.
is on one-shot territory, I believe, or maybe two-shot. She does have full bonus. I don't think you would be bursting here, but Rion has to play extra careful here in order to
They
not
get
die.
jellyfish.
They're actually only only have 10 seconds left. Not sure if they can win this.
This is really tight.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
Oh,
I think we're in a VAR.
oh.
I don't think this is barely not a bar. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Very clutch gameplay near the end. Almost seemed like they were going to be
Wow.
down, but they just completely came back from it. Wow. Yeah, on the other hand, if I'm looking at BLG's lineup, they are probably going to be playing Chaska, Selali, Yelan on this boss, which is also not that great. I think if UWU just plays safe, steady, and just consistently dishing out that damage without taking any serious risks, they should be fine here. But
Here
we will
comes the
have to
swipe.
see. All players
so
have to
scary,
be playing
though.
very diligently and just have to be paying a lot of attention. They have certainly cleared this before with many other Bennett teams, so I do believe in their ability now, but there always exists that risk. And Nave has marked everyone with that bond, and literally every character here, if they get tapped, they are in one-shot territory. Bennett is not able to heal them. Yeah, this
Oh,
is
they
just-
have to play very carefully here.
They're playing absolutely on a knife's edge. No one is able to take that damage, and Ganyu, Emily both able to be healed. Oh my god, it's absolutely perfect for them.
Okay.
Very good first
Oh,
phase. I would
yeah.
expect there to be maybe 120. Yeah, very well played here overall. By Kaizen is looking a bit low though. We need Bennett burst instantly. Bennett burst, Emily burst right now, and Joman has died.
Joman's low.
Joman.
Is Joman dead?
Oh, Joman. Yes,
Oh my God,
Joman
he
is
dead.
dead.
Yeah.
No.
Well, unfortunately,
Yeah,
the knave slammed on her.
Emily,
And-
Ganyu is by far the main DPS on this team. I don't know if they have enough
Can they
damage.
kill them?
Yeah,
This is
unfortunately.
wild.
It's going to be a very slow clear. This might even go to 2 minutes. Yeah. Oh my god, this just completely turned the match upside down.
Oh man, the BLG comeback.
Yeah, it played so well, and now it just completely fell. And Kaizen has also died. I would say Bobo here, just gather your energy and
Bobo carry.
You cannot afford to lose your burst here. Bennett is the most important character to have burst. Emily and Ganyu neither are that burst. Well, maybe Emily actually. But yeah, to have even a single bit of chance
I'm a
on
little
Sonya,
scared.
I feel you need to have that burst.
Oh, and
And-
Bennett goes down.
No.
This puts them at a very bad disadvantage on their next boss
No.
here.
As Rion, you would pull out. No, as Rion, you would definitely use the Chaska. Arlecchino is going to be saved for the previous later games. But yeah, they're just definitely just confident. Yeah, and we see that Favonius bow on Swezi, probably a prototype Amber on Lin. Yeah, there we go. Playing absolutely safe and steady. They should just be able
Yep.
to take this away. There's no point even to try doing damage, but
Yeah,
They're
they
just
just need to clear safely.
it's just, yeah, it's still a very good team here.
Now they have to prioritize healing up, or else they are going to get knocked
Yeah.
off. But
And they're doing a very good job. Yeah, perfectly timed set lolly
Alright.
burst there. Very well done. Swezi's Yelan being carried by 2 supports. Hyper carry. Just incredibly good Yelan build. I believe his Yelan build might be top 0.1% with very sufficient ER, the most optimal weapon, Moon's Moon at C2. Just incredibly good.
They were faster. This was a faster clear than the other one. That was 5 seconds faster. They would have just
Yeah,
won.
this is actually very surprising. I'm actually not sure. Maybe I saw it wrong and he is not on Favonius? I think the damage looks... No, the damage does look like Favonius. Yeah. But yeah, the Chaska, I guess, is just dishing out a lot of damage. Wow. Team is looking very good.
This clear, like, even if UWU didn't pass away in the previous one, I think they could have just won. The timing was
You're
really
right, yeah.
tight.
I think they would have won, honestly. I think they normally would have the advantage here, but no Bennett Burst means both risk and low damage.
That has put them to a 50-50
hard
here.
Yeah, it might
They
even
still
be
have the Ganyu damage, but it's going to make it a harder time for them.
Maybe it might be worth it to just throw the boss. No, the Bennetts have very good energy generation. Instantly have the burst here. They should be able to dish it out. But yeah, remember, UWU still has to win a boss to even get to overtime. Like, they're not in the clear yet either.
Yep.
Yeah. And here is the break. Swanee goes down.
Yeah, incredible
Okay, I
124
think they got it.
shots from Ganyu, just absolutely insane, critting every single hit.
35.
Yeah, 35 is normally not a great time, but with no burst, this is just absolutely incredible. Very,
Yeah.
very just...
But the problem is I don't know how this team gets 35.
This is very interesting, and I think BLG's previous decision has come back to bite them. Swezi has no character for this.
They have no
I think he
shatter.
has to opt for the Yelan.
Do keep in mind that Lin's Linny is has no burst and is on like respawn HP.
Why are they going with the Chaska? I think this is a mistake. I feel like this is a massive mistake.
I think Chaska does shatter. I'm not super
It does,
certain, but
you don't necessarily need Shatter. Melt also breaks it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I'm not
there's
sure
no
Chaska was
pyro.
on full energy as well. Perhaps they're going for... Yeah, I just don't know what they're going for. But this team is clearing really fast. Oh my god, the pace is absolutely insane. The 6% shred is just completely ignoring Swanee's mechanics. And they might just be able to win this boss outright.
30.
Is this what LG has really planned for? Oh my god, I think...
Is this VAR?
35 clear.
No,
Yeah,
no.
I think this has
No,
failed their
this,
loss.
that was so
this
close.
boss goes to
But like,
UWU.
given what has happened in the game, and given that Swezi was playing two Hydro characters, Kurt and Lemmy, I feel like this is what they planned all along. Maybe, like, they just saw completely up all the way until this point. They knew that they would win the first 4 bosses. They knew that maybe Swanee would be a little bit hard to win against the Bennett Ganyu core, and they know that maybe they can pull away into overtime with that Primo Bishop win potentially. Not the best boss here for... Ooh, maybe they wanted to use Klee here instead of Emily, but yeah, Ganyu is the main DPS, so not gonna matter that much.
See what our elements are for today. Pyro.
A very common Geo Bishop tag is purposely allowing Geo Bishop, one of Geo Bishop's infused attacks, to hit you while you are in fact afflicted with Bennett, creating that Pyro Crystallize, which means that
Crystallize, yes.
power attack, yeah, you can reflect if your team is without a shielder. This is the perfect situation for that. If who has prepared for it, they should be able to do this.
The Ganyu is not
They do
getting-
decide to run
Really,
away,
no one has done this, so
and that's a DPS loss.
they cannot
So-
cycle this that quick.
They have to make it up perfect DPS here.
Yeah, and the Ganyu is just doing just that, just no shots missing. But where is the Bennett Burst? I think that's the question we're all asking. Where's the Bennett
of
Burst?
energy? There it is.
10
Okay,
seconds without
last
Bennett Burst.
minute
Yeah.
Bennett
Wow.
burst.
Yeah,
50
the Aquila
second
Ammonia,
clear.
although the best option for buffing is just not enough energy. It's just solo pyro. Yeah, I do believe Bennett, even with no energy, is able to have perfect burst for me, but you need to be constantly attacking, constantly using that E, and I don't think you are able to on that boss. Cryo here on the Primo Bishop for BLG, just a pretty lucky boss. Arlecchino is able to pre-stack that bond. Yep, perfect scroll setup. I believe they should be able to take it away. Arlecchino, Yelan, very good setup. Yep, perfect bond application. Arlecchino
Oh,
dishing that.
Swezi is
Swezi.
on.
Oh my god, Swezi taking a
He has
massive...
He has
here.
to play carefully here, or else it would be
Oh my god, it's one
very-
of the rare characters that you are allowed to play safe. Luckily, the hit was on Yelan. I believe if it was on any other characters, they would have fallen. And
Oh,
another
Lin,
massive hit on
Lin is
Sonali.
also the low health.
No, they're good. Surely.
So height. Both of these characters has to survive. They have about 10 seconds to clear this boss, and it went underground. It went
Oh, and
underground.
we
Arlecchino-
almost
Arlecchino's
they need
Those
they needed.
two.
I think they just
Oh,
managed
and we
to clear.
are
Oh my
in
god.
overtime. Nearly escaping death.
Oh
They
my
cleared it
God.
3 seconds faster.
What a way to end off our regular time. And now we're going into overtime.
BLG has managed to turn this game over with another comeback.
Yeah, from a completely unwinnable position, they have clawed themselves just one step at a time, and 5-1 in the second half after being down that much. Just any sort of comeback after being down even 4-2 is completely unheard of, and they have managed to pull themselves out of a 5-1 deficit.
Honestly, really well played by BLG for keeping this streak up. A streak is hard to maintain, so that like keeping it in at this high of a gameplay is really impressive. So props to them.
Yeah,
but
and
also
no
also
error.
just good job to UWU for gaining that high momentum in the first half. Like that, the same thing goes to them.
Yeah, like they were able to make themselves at that leading position in the first place and in the second half. Even though I don't think they played the best, they definitely had their moments, such as on Swanee, like on PMA, with just a relatively difficult to execute Klee Ganyu team. On PMA, they were able to just sort of control their HP to just right while being able to tank. Because just trying to tank as much damage as possible while doing is the most optimal but risky strat. And on PMA, they were able to demonstrate that, even though they did end up losing, unfortunately, to Full Bond Arlecchino.
Looking into overtime, what teams do you think they're going to be bringing in?
For UWU, I'm definitely locking in the Hu Tao Vape.
I agree.
That got them the Drake win. They're pulling it out again.
Yeah, I believe this might be just a rematch of the first half streak.
Yep.
Yeah, the Milani, Shilon, and Arlecchino team is definitely very good as well. But UWU certainly has the advantage here. It was with nearly a full bond Arlecchino and BLG. Still unfortunately lost. Although it was definitely with a small mishap. I believe that the general times for the Farina Nula Hu Tao team is probably hovering around 22, 23 seconds, as UWU has cleared. And the clear time with 0 bond Arlecchino with a perfect Milani gameplay is probably around 23 to 24, so UWU certainly has the slight advantage there. Just one boss to decide everything.
Yeah,
According
well, yeah, you can go.
According to Cuddles, when they were doing the clear on first half, the Mualani burst missed. So we could see a much closer clear.
Yeah, I thought what happened was that the Milani didn't manage to get a third hail shark bite, but I could have been mistaken. But yeah, you basically lose about the same amount of damage missing that burst or a tail swipe.
So maybe perfect Mualani gameplay.
That can be the game changer.
I mean, if we remember here, BLG did first pick that Milani. Out of every single character that they decided to first pick that Milani, they must have some kind of confidence. They must have some kind of experience in playing that Milani team, and we can certainly expect a perfect Milani gameplay going in.
Yeah, and just to mention that this is the first tiebreaker of this season. I think we have only seen one tiebreaker happen in season 2 between TST and TGT, but so it's definitely another historical moment for the season.
Yeah, tiebreaker is always exciting. As we can see here, UWU has locked in their Farina Nuvalet Hu Tao team as expected. They will be going first as well. Let's see them play everything this season, everything that we have worked for. The prelims, 5 matches in the prelims, 2 rounds previously in the playoffs. It has all come down to this point.
2 teams that played each other in the first week, they have come this far to fight each other once again, tying themselves 6-6 in this BO2 match. All these trainings, all these practice has come to this moment.
No pressure or anything.
No pressure, of course, no pressure. I don't want to jinx this.
Remember, Joe, man,
Yeah.
if you miss one charge attack, you give them a chance.
Oh yeah.
If you do one too many normals, your aura is screwed.
Yeah, definitely Molani, Arlecchino player team maybe is a bit easier if you just play it relatively properly. There's definitely a very big room for error, but I think in general it's probably easier than without, especially in this kind of high pressure situation. In a high pressure situation, you would probably rather the pressure to be split up between the team and not on one player. But at the same time, it's not just also
the
kind
bow tie
of
combo.
Oh, here they go.
Here we go.
The last boss
Oh,
of
BLG is actually
Genshin
in
Ranked
first.
Season 3 is here. Oh, let's
Yeah,
take a look at
perfect.
BLG.
Molani
Perfect
hits there. I think
400k.
they actually changed their build for a slight
200.
crit vision build. This might be.
For a crit.
This is looking to be slightly higher. Where is that third? Where's that third strike point? Oh my god! I think we have missed the third strike point once again. Re-scroll
no.
though, and both teams are going in at the same time.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
hold up, I see a green on BLG's side. Oh my god! Why was there a two? There was a 2-second error. Oh my god! Did BLG
Wait, there
actually?
was a
Wait.
2-second error?
I mean, we'll have to definitely double check. But oh my god!
Can we
Oh,
play the
this-
intro music?
Okay, the ref error is confirmed. BLG is actually your winner for Genshin Ranked Season 3. This is
That's
a
crazy.
total comeback that we have not been expecting. Wow.
Absolutely incredible.
Holy
We
crap.
even come back the result. Congratulations to BLG, Cuddles, Rion, Swazzy, and Lin. Great job, guys.
Oh
Wow.
my god.
This has been such an unexpected result.
I promise to the chat that we did not script this.
Yes, we were just looking at. There's no script, obviously, no script happening. Wow.
I'm...
So
Oh my-
congratulations to the Balatro Gamblers. You have gambled your way to the finals. Well,
If I were to give a percentage after the first half, I would say BLG probably has a 0.1 chance.
Yeah, I had like no
to
faith.
win.
yeah. But hey, continuing the team one first half win rate, right?
It was
So-
all a coin flip win, actually. It was 50-50 from the beginning. Oh my god.
What a match.
Can we get them on?
I think
Oh
we.
man.
Yeah,
God, I would love to invite both of our teams once again to the production.
yep. So as we get people from both teams here, wow, what an amazing season here. There's a lot of new strategies coming here, and well, hi guys.
Oh my god, there's so many people here
You
now.
cannot make this up!
This is
You
okay,
cannot
wait.
make this up!
That's not what the script says. The script says UWU. Wait, what? Where's the videos? Where's the clips? Where's the clips?
Well, apparently there was a ref error, and it resulted in your win by a second.
Ow. I have to see the clips. There's okay, here's the thing. I genuinely don't want people to think this is scripted as much as I joke about it. Like
Okay,
I don't-
I can tell you why we lost. Because it was
was
like
it actually
What happened?
Actually, I was
what
not
happened
paying
was that
attention.
in order for us to maintain Hydro Aura with Farina, I have to charge attack twice after Madam Crabaletta hits in order to reset the timing to get Joe
And I didn't get my
Hydro
puffer
Aura.
fish. No
And
excuses.
I got staggered out of the swap out.
Oh,
so
you
we
have to
ended up with Pyro
refresh
Aura
the-
for a hot second.
Wait, you have to refresh the Farina E in order to maintain
Yeah,
Hydro
just,
Aura?
just to maintain Hydro Aura, and because we didn't
Wow.
have Hydro Aura, I got like 3 charge attacks that were just not vaped at all, and so I tried to slow down to let the Hydro Aura
I'm
take back
doing
over.
VAR
but
on
it's
my
just too slow.
I'm doing my own VAR. There's no way. I genuinely do not believe this.
Because we saw the 23-second clear, and we were like, that's a normal time. That's expected.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I timed it myself
yeah.
as well during the clear, and we did get like a 25. Yeah.
Oh.
Was it actually 25?
Because
Yeah,
25
it's
means
25.
that
Yeah, I
BLG
got
wins,
25
so that's the
something.
situation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
What are you
well,
guys feeling
this-
right now?
The sad part is
Oh,
that
I
it
mean,
also happened during our
we
first
died.
time playing it. So we were like, So I was like, oh man. But it affected it more this time, and I was like, oh dang it, that's so unfortunate.
Guys, did you know that our second half draft plan was made up on the spot?
It had to be, right?
I mean, our second half draft plan was also
Holy shit,
made
okay.
up
Our VAR
on
is
the
28
spot,
to 3.
not because we didn't plan it, but because
Oh, because we didn't do. I
We didn't
planned on
follow
drafting Nahida. I planned on drafting Nahida, and then for some reason something compelled me. I saw Suwani and Knave, and I told myself that those should be guaranteed wins. That guarantees us 2 wins. So just play it safe and pick Bennett. And so that's why I ended up going with Bennett. But like
yeah,
our plan
I think
initially
that's
was to
the
just
plan.
go Nahida,
Sorry.
and I think going Nahida would have just been the better play there. Because the thing is, like, I knew Suwani was literally a guaranteed win, and I thought that we were pretty safely secured for overtime. But yeah, messing up on Knave, and then messing up on Drake, and then messing up, like, it was just a series of very unfortunate events.
Okay, German. We all had our fair share of mess ups, but
I
I
mean,
feel like
I
overall,
think-
we all played
I
incredibly well.
did.
No,
Oh,
I
you
think
both
I
did.
think
I
I
mean,
think he
second
severely
draft,
screwed up.
questionable.
I think I messed up pretty
But
bad.
first draft,
Holy shit, it is 25.
Oh my gosh.
I messed up.
GG's.
It is official, yeah.
You can't.
Did you know?
can't make this up.
This is the best
On
game
our
ever.
app-
This is I love.
Did you guys,
This-
did you guys know that on our first Atmon run, our first Drake run and our second Drake run, Mualani only got 2 shark bites?
Yeah, those are all
Yeah.
2 short things.
Yeah, I don't think you
It's
missed
so-
the first. I think you missed 1 shot line, both of them.
Yeah,
You can't make
because
this up.
okay, on our two Drake runs, both Cuddles and Swazi missed the pufferfish. On an Asmon, Cuddles accidentally canceled early.
No, I didn't accidentally cancel early. I started E early and I ran out of stam, and I was like,
Oh, I see.
"What?"
So
Yeah,
my
so
Yeah,
God.
we just
also
kind of
now
threw.
is something.
We should have. That should have been an easy win for us. We should have picked Nahida, and then we shouldn't have. Like dying on Knave was actually ridiculous on my part. I
Yeah.
dodged that. I can't remember the last time I've gotten hit by that attack. I did a double dash to try to get out of the area, but I don't know why I tried to do that. That was obviously because then my dash was on cooldown and I couldn't dash a third time to dodge it. I don't think I've ever done that before. I think just nerves got to me a bit.
Oh,
but
that's so
okay.
fair.
Yeah, I literally I've faced that boss so many times I can't remember the last time I've gotten hit by that attack. That attack is the easiest attack to dodge in all of Knave, and I messed it up. So that felt pretty bad, but that's okay.
The
Yeah,
refs,
but either
the
way,
refs made
hey,
the right call.
both teams, you guys
Yeah.
got your winning moment, right? So
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
really good plays
Is that what we're
to both of
calling
you.
it?
True. Oh, I lost. The self-fulfilling prophecy. Do I have to buy the maid outfit now? I was not even told Lynn. Hey, whoever loses, losing team buys the maid outfit, right? Do I
Yeah,
have
we
to
did
do that
agree.
now? Yeah, I think I do
I'm
have
expecting
to
that.
do it now.
Close. We need to show them our reactions. Where we ended up. Oh my gosh.
I'm-
Swazi started hyperventilating in BC.
I
Yeah.
did.
He turned into a
Like,
dog
I
for a
feel like-
second.
I mean, as BLG, can I ask you guys, like, after the draft, when you guys were trying to distribute characters, did you expect to win on all the bosses except Swanee? Because you gave Swazi both the Hydros. You must have,
I
like,
will-
you knew you must win all the bosses, right? Except for Swanee in order to
Yeah.
win. There was no other way.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
That was the idea.
I guess that was the plan. Oh, wow.
Did you
We-
since you expected for all to win every boss except Suwani, did you truly believe that you could outperform in the overtime? Because from the
No.
first half, it looked like you were going to lose the overtime.
Yeah,
I
no,
fully,
Yeah.
I fully
like,
expected we would
we
lose
played the same
overtime.
as-
That's why we did try to we did try Swanee. We did see if 60 red shred could fix Yalan damage, but it could not. So we just got ultimate.
It was. Yeah.
yeah.
No, but like I read it all cooldown like midway through.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
don't know why you wouldn't
Why did you
instead.
use Chaska into Suwani instead of
Yeah, it was
Arlecchino?
Because
There's a fun
Arle-
artifact
okay,
set.
can I talk?
go ahead,
Arlecchino
Ray.
doesn't have a chance of winning Swanee at all, but we thought that there was a possibility that the 20 shred from Sitlali and the 40 shred from Chaska could make up for the hydro resistance. So we decided to go Chaska because that would end up being faster than Arle.
Were you not able to check the times in the practice?
We didn't check Swanee in practice. We were trying to
Ah.
because we had to win Weenut. It was more important for us to figure out the rotation on Weenut first, so that's what we spent
Okay.
all of practice doing.
That makes sense. Okay.
I have
So
the
you-
greatest teammates in the world.
We have the greatest we have the greatest team captain in the world.
It's true.
All I do is I just yell at them. I yell at them to go faster, and then I sit back and I stay quiet when I want them to farm ults.
In second half, that's why you won second half, because you had way more time to yell at them since you weren't playing yourself.
Yeah, so here's the thing I noticed a lot about like the matches so far. Team 1 has won every single time. I wonder if it has more to do with mental, because when you're team 2, right, you have the luxury of being like, okay, I saw where they messed up, I saw where they didn't. And the thing is, for us, is especially, like, I know how to get them to gas pedal. I know how to get them to just kind of sit back and heal up and farm up. And it's just like the timings on everything were perfect. I mean, like, even for PMA, for example, right? We were almost not going to make the time cutoff. And I just told
the
him,
worst RNG. We got the worst
Yeah.
possible RNG for PMA.
yeah.
I mean,
A lot of
the
it
way
comes
we-
down to just like knowing your team, and I think they know each other very well.
I mean, the way we saw it, with Team 1, whoever gets, what was it again? Whoever gets Team 1 first, always winning, it was more of just like because when you're on Team 2, as long as you go into the second half like 3-3, like you get to see all their times and be like, yeah, we get the chance to throw this boss, we get the chance to like, you kind of get to control the flow of how you guys get to go to the thing, because like you get the choice of getting to overtime if you really need to or not. So that's what we were kind of looking at. So yeah.
Yeah, which is, I mean, I was surprised they pulled it back from 1-5. Here's the thing, right? I know my guys well enough that I'm like, 1-5 is bad, but this is still playable. Like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, yeah, but we're team 2.
We won Flip
Dude, I was like actually. Oh my god, that second half draft was so stressful.
I do a really
Yeah.
good job of putting my team into mental distress.
Okay, also, but listen, KleGB actually really cooks. Russian Pride is actually good against Drake.
Russian Pride actually wins
Like,
really
it
well.
clears
I
like
love KleGB.
24-25. KleGB actually clears very fast.
Oh,
We just
you-
haven't practiced it against enough bosses. It's actually really good.
Wait,
we
Jordan,
were planning,
you know
we weren't
what?
even planning on going the Mav. We were planning on going Klee the whole time. Because we knew that
Damn.
it cleared fast, but it just didn't clear fast enough on the bosses that we picked.
Oh,
Russian
by the way, now
Pride
that the
could've-
season is over, have you
Russian
guys
Pride,
tried?
KGB.
Yeah. Now that the season is over, have you guys tried Mav Kanich Bennett?
No.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. Wait, Bubba, we tried that comp before season 3.
okay.
No,
Yeah,
but
so-
here's the
so
thing.
here's our
Here's the
secret.
thing.
So here's okay. Go ahead.
The secret
Yeah.
is C1 Mav.
Yeah. By the way, C1 needs to be nerfed. We can't do anything with C0. C0 is like nothing close to C1. It's ridiculous.
Or we
But,
buff
um,
C0.
True. Allow R1.
True.
No, but
Yes.
okay. The secret UWU team. We've called it UWU Pride. It is like really insane. Kanich, Linny, Bennett. We can like get like 20-second clears on Drake. If
Did you know
everybody
that's
plays
why
correctly.
we banned Kanich both halves?
Yeah, you guys, dude. How did you guys know?
How did you know?
Because-
It couldn't have been. It couldn't have been Kaizen saying that he was practicing Kanich, getting consistent 6 shots.
Yeah, it's okay.
I
Yeah.
like how
Really bummed we lost. Bummed we didn't get to play Kanich. You guys are jerks.
Well,
I was hoping we
You
could
banned my
Kanich.
Corin second half. Dude,
Hey, you took
was
my
so
Emily.
panicked. When you banned my Corin second half, I was actually like, oh shit, because we were planning on getting Corin.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
draft,
they
my
were
draft plan
saying
literally
two
says
things.
if they ban Kanich, go Nahida. I don't know why I decided to not do that. My draft plan I think would have worked really well, and I decided that like in order to like guarantee us a win, like Suwani is pretty much a guaranteed win if you go Bennett, right? So I wanted to just guarantee us one win and then go OT, and then win OT because I was confident we could win OT. But then when you screw up Nays and then you do OT and then so we kind of threw. But I think it's I think you guys played extremely well. Like that like Chaska and everything, that team like cleared way faster than I thought it would. That was really impressive. I'm surprised you guys didn't like pull out the Mulaney at all.
We did not want to risk it. We were playing safe.
after that first half.
Faith in the Swizzy.
It was just because here. Okay,
Fair
I'll be
enough,
honest.
fair enough.
My Milani performance was ass because I was expecting Milani to do Farina team levels of damage. And then when I was seeing the numbers not really show up the way I wanted to,
Yeah,
I
you
think I
wanted
was
to,
just
like,
aggressing. I was playing aggressing for extra damage, and it just
yeah.
really didn't work out. So we were like behind by one rotation on a lot of different bosses.
Cuddles, do I get perms to reclaim my Mualani? Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
you can have the keys back.
Yeah, dude, when I saw Cuddles on Mua, I was super surprised. I thought Swezzy was the Mua go. What happened? Why?
Well, so the main reason why we
VST
switched to-
happened.
Yeah, so
Ping.
the reason we switched, it's ping related, right? But the thing is that
Oh,
it helped. In theory, it would let me catch the pufferfish more consistently, and then it would make me miss shark bites less consistently. And this is a true thing, because with Drake doing a tail swipe, Milani auto targeting just like completely disappears. And then, especially with the pufferfish, like keeping an eye on that is something that having better ping is better for. The thing is, I did not do my job responsibly, and I didn't catch second pufferfish. Rotation bricked itself, and then I said, hey, I'm going for an early Q. I'm gonna have to just shark bite this. But the thing is that it really doesn't matter, because if you like do the math in terms of adding up the rotation times, it still ends up being the same. So I honestly think that's why, even though both Swezzy and I messed up the same rotation, we still cleared like sub 25, which is about what you expect from Milani.
yeah, no, you guys cleared that well. That was really impressive. GG's, guys.
Another cook, and like the
GG.
part of the reason we drafted Vishap is during ref time between the matches, I checked the Geo Vishap element. I was like, oh, it's cryo, we're good.
Oh.
So we kind of knew going into that, and that's why we pivoted our draft towards Geo Vishap.
That's
At least for the final boss,
during...
is we could check the element, and since we knew 5 minutes ref time, not a lot of time to cycle it for something you want, we could.
Yeah, no, this is not enough time for us to check it. I mean, it wasn't cryo, which is the only thing that would have really screwed us over. So, but it was pyro, unfortunately, which
We were hoping it was
a difference maker, honestly.
We were praying it was
If it wasn't
cryo.
pyro, we might have been able to win Bishop. But
Dude, I was so scared they weren't gonna get kills. They were gonna get the Primo Bishop kill at first, because it was getting really scarily close to 50 seconds.
Yeah, that was
Bishop,
crazy
we
to
were-
go
our
past that to
original
actually
plan-
miss on it.
Our
I feel like you
original
should have
plan
just
was to
stacked on
have
as well.
Sitlali like reflect it with her shield, but something happened, I think, and it didn't work. I think her shield.
Oh yeah, no,
I took
Omen
almost
didn't
lethal
have...
damage.
No, because you didn't have shield. Yeah,
What?
So...
When?
Just broke. Maybe
no,
it did, like,
during
another
the
track
transition into shield phase, I remember I was like staring at your screen, hoping that you'd pull up the Sitlali shield, and it
Yeah,
just
I think it
wasn't
broke
there.
early.
And I was just like,
Uh,
yeah.
Well, I
so
Oh, yeah,
that's why
base
you
tanked it.
dropped
It's a
down.
really big
Yeah.
risk to
Playing-
take though,
playing time.
trying on Swanee and not stacking Bond. Because if you stacked Bond, you would have guaranteed overtime. But I guess you don't want overtime because you probably would have lost.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a big
we
advantage
had to
going.
try on Swanee. We had to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
you have
Yeah.
to pray for Sawadi, yeah.
Makes sense. Wow.
So this is the finals of Genshin Rank Season 3. I hope you had a great time here. Both teams, you guys did really well. I'm really proud of all of you, and you should pat yourself in the back for this result. So, hey, this marks the end of it. So thank you for joining us. Thank you to the production team, PR team, ref team, balance team, everyone who put their time and effort to making this happen. It has been truly a great time over here. And hey, also thank you to all the casters here. All the
Thank you,
casters.
Kurt.
Kurt,
Thank you.
Popsicle, and
Thanks, Kurt.
all the other casters here for providing commentary here. So yeah,
Yeah.
see you guys
Definitely.
in the next time.
Bye bye.
Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
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 I can't wait to see Popsicle flame me for first half.
I don't remember what I.
Oh,
The stream's
Wait,
over. You
guys,
can
Dude, I'm actually
right
so mad.
now.
Oh my
It's
god.
not-
How
it-
did we throw that bad?
Right now.
How did we fucking throw that bad, dude? Oh,
Wait.
It's
Are you
okay.
still live? Are you still live? You're live. You're live. You're live. Calm down.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So many people are talking at the same time.
It's okay, Joe man. Imagine how we
Oh,
felt
hi.
after first half, Joe man. Joe man, imagine how we felt after first half.
Yeah, we were like, oh, it's
Yeah.
kind of doomed.
Oh,
Like-
are you starting stream?
I have started stream already.
You started? Okay. Just say right now. Yeah. Bye. Oh my god! I was like,
Oh,
I was
no,
like Don't cash out yet.
No, we're still on stream. Guys, we're still
End
on
it,
stream.
end it.